Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. Of course, this is my F1 Saudi Arabian Form 3 review, where, of course, no change in the result. No change in the result, of course, as Max Verstappen wins back-to-back races to start off the season. And to be fair, he does end his street circuit first, because he does struggle in terms of street circuits, Max Verstappen. And he won by 13. He won by 13.6 seconds over his teammate Sergio Perez. So the top three, probably not surprising. Not really surprising result, but I mean, for my preview, I actually went for Perez to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Verstappen second, and Leclerc third. So no surprise. So I'm not really surprised by the top three. Could have ended in any order. And again, what can you say? Another dominant weekend for Red Bull. That's the thing with Red Bull, to do everything perfect, and especially with the surroundings going on with Christian Horner in the background. Christian Horner was on the pit wall for this race, so it'd be interesting to see what happens there. The latest on that is Christian Horner has apparently been paying the accuser to keep her mouth shut. 700 grand, I think it is. That was a rumoured fee. Whilst he's still suspended. So at the moment, it's just chaotic what's happening in terms of the Horner situation. As I keep saying about the Christian Horner situation, I don't think there's good enough evidence, in my opinion, to remove Horner as team principal. But he shouldn't be behaving that way as a team principal. And he's had a past before, Christian Horner. He has had a past before where he has had a partner, and then he binned her off for obviously his current partner, Terry Halliwell, so from Spice Girls. So, and I think the Spice Girls apparently they're now putting something together now to try and convince Terry Halliwell to obviously leave Christian Horner. So it's quite a strange situation. But I've always said I think Christian Horner will still remain as team principal. In my opinion, I've always said that. So this probably means obviously Jos Verstappen's had a falling out with Christian Horner, Max Verstappen's dad, and Jos Verstappen has said to his son, "Look, if Christian Horner stays at Red Bull, I want you to lead the team. I want you to leave the team." And I think Christian Horner is right in saying this, by the way. No one's better than the team. I think he's correct in saying that. But if you ask me what should happen, I think it's simple. I think Christian Horner has to be removed as team principal. You can't be behaving that way as a team principal. I'm sorry, you can't. It doesn't matter if it's not strong enough evidence. You still can't behave that way, in my opinion. So I think we'll probably see Verstappen, even Red Bull, and that would be very strange to see that happen, because we never thought that would happen, and that is Red Bull's bit. Along with Adrian Newey, Max Verstappen is another big asset to Red Bull, in my opinion. But is he though? Because Sebastian Vettel, we saw what happened when he left Red Bull. He didn't pull up any trees since leaving Red Bull. So I don't think it is Max Verstappen. I think Adrian Newey, that's the one you need to keep at Red Bull, in my opinion. Because I still think Max Verstappen, I still think it does. You have to trust on driving ability. And Max Verstappen he is brilliant driving ability wise. But yeah, he has needed the car, to be fair. Let's be real. He has needed the car. I mean, we could have said this about Lewis Hamilton, couldn't we? Where we could have said this about Lewis Hamilton. And now look at him, Mercedes haven't got the car, and Hamilton can't perform. So it is interesting, but you have to say though, when we're choosing the cards, look at Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna will always be my door of F1. He'll always be my twist all the time for F1. Because Ayrton Senna's car, where he won the world titles, weren't as good as these cars now. Let's be real. They were terrible. They were shocking compared to these cars. So yeah, that's the haters and the Horner situation. We'll see what continues. Obviously, afterwards, going to Australia in 2 weeks. But Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, perfect once again. All you can say, perfect weekend for Red Bull, first and second. Saudi Arabia definitely suited Red Bull. It's one of the fastest street circuits out there, fastest, powerful street circuits out there. A lot of straight lines as well in the Saudi circuit. So let's not pretend to be shocked by that result. Then we move on to Ferrari. Charles Leclerc in third, but the story of the weekend is definitely Oliver Bowman, who finished 7th, who qualified 11th. Oliver Bowman on his F1 debut, driving in the Ferrari as well. And by the way, we shouldn't be judging Bowman, in my opinion, because everyone says it's about the car, right? Okay, then why did Oliver Bowman not finish 4th then, if it's about the car? It just shows, doesn't it? With respect to Bowman, you can't expect him to be in the top 4 straight away. Ferrari expecting to be close chances to Red Bull. We can't expect Bowman to be there. So having Bowman done a good job, to be honest, for his F1 debut. He was always in the struggle in qualifying, let's be real, because it's his F1 debut. And he did quite well, to be fair. He only just missed out on the top 10. And he finished 7th. And he finished 7th above Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. And that is a poor weekend for Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. I'm sorry, but they deserve criticism, in my opinion. You can't let Bowman finish above you, in my opinion. But I think you have to PM the teams as well for getting a driver making a debut finish above you, in my opinion. By the way, I'm not saying Oliver Bowman shouldn't be in the top 10. I think he should be in the top 10 if he's driving the Ferrari. But to finish above Norris and Hamilton, I don't think that's good enough from Norris and Hamilton, in my opinion. I think they should feel a bit embarrassed, to be honest with you. Hulkenberg, not as much because he's driving the hats, let's be real. So Norris and Hamilton are definitely the flops of the weekend, in my opinion. And Oscar Piastri, a great drive from Oscar Piastri, who qualified, well, to be fair, he did qualify 5th, so he only moved up 1 place, Oscar Piastri. But a good try, a very good, solid try for Oscar Piastri. Just missing out on the podium in the McLaren. Lando Norris, who qualified 6th and finished 8th. It's where you expect McLaren to be, unfortunately. I did say that at the start of the season is where you expect McLaren to be. Fernando Alonso started 4th, finished 5th. Again, you have to say a solid drive from Fernando Alonso in that Aston Martin. George Russell qualifying 7th, finishing 6th. Mercedes just not at it yet, either, in terms. And this is the thing with Mercedes. Just like the last 2 seasons, they are going to have a slow start to the season, and they don't have this kind of start to the season. But massive shout out to Oliver Bowman, who deserved the driver of the day, in my opinion. Nico Hulkenberg qualified 15th, a big mover in the race. Qualified 15th and finished 10th. Nico Hulkenberg. So massive dues to him, massive shout out to him, and very interesting with Haas. Very interesting. A 10th and 12th for Haas. I think that's a brilliant weekend if you ask me, for Hearts, who have surprisingly started well this season with life after Don Steiner. It just makes you question, was Steiner holding the team up at Hearts? You do wonder, because you have to say, Hulkenberg and Mattinson is actually a good lineup, in my opinion. Good partnership, a good solid partnership. So yeah, massive. I've been there. Had to be one of the teams of the weekend. Hearts for me. Very good tries from both drivers. Kevin Mattinson got 10-second penalty. Got 10-second penalty. Also says 20-second penalty. Sorry. For the incidents he had during the race investigations, especially the incidents he had with Yuki Tsunoda during the race as well. Yuki Tsunoda saying it was dangerous driving, which is pretty ironic. This is the irony that comes from Yuki Tsunoda, by the way. I mean, that is an irony coming from him. I mean, Yuki Tsunoda is a car class himself. Alex Albon, a meh try from him. Moved up one place up to 11th, so again, solid enough try from Alex Albon. Better weekend for Esteban Ocon. Qualified 17th, but he finished 13th for Esteban Ocon. So a kind of better weekend compared to Bahrain for Esteban Ocon in Alpine. So I think they're slowly getting there now, Alpine. After an abysmal start to the season, which is still a bit of a shambles at Alpine. But you expect them to get better once the season goes on. Ocon 13, Per Dadzi was out straight away. Dot DNF straight away with a gearbox problem in the car. Just right after the first lap, so he had to come in the pits and retire the car. Lance Stroll was the other DNF. Horrific. Bit of a horrific class as he chipped the wall. When he tried to turn into the corner, he chipped the wall, and that caused him to crash for Lance Stroll. So very disappointing for him, because you would have thought if he didn't crash, Lance Stroll would have probably got in the top 10 and got in the points in Aston Martin. Now we move on to Frieza Katsaf, RB, Yuki Tsunoda 14th, Daniel Ricciardo 16th. I did expect a better start from these two, to be honest with you. I did expect a better start. It just shows the car at the moment. It's not there for me at the moment, the car. That's what it's telling me. It just wasn't there, especially for this Grand Prix. I did expect them to be at least chancing for the points. So, bit of a worrying start for Daniel Ricciardo, in my opinion. Jordan Sargent finished 15th after qualifying. Well, it was basically last in qualifying, wasn't he? So, he moved up 4 places. Bottas and Zhou Guanyu, 17th and 18th in the Sauber. Probably where you expect them to be honest with you. Probably where you expect them to be, in my opinion. But it is what it is with Sauber. As we now move on to the driver standings and the constructor standings. So the constructor standings looks like this. Red Bull 37 points, Ferrari 49, McLaren on 28, Mercedes 26, Aston Martin on 13. Haas currently the 6th best team on the grid with the 1 point. Williams 7th, Sauber 8th, Frieza Katsaf RB 9th, and Alpine at the bottom. As we now look at the driver standings, Max Verstappen in first with 51 points, Perez second 36 points, Charles Leclerc in third with 28, George Russell in fourth with 18, Piastri in fifth with 16, Carlos Sainz in sixth. Carlos Sainz, who obviously didn't thrive this weekend due to the appendix surgery that he's currently having, but he will be back in Australia, so a massive recovery to Carlos Sainz, the smooth operator, as we call him. Fernando Alonso in 7th, Fernando Norris in 8th, Lewis Hamilton in 9th, and big shout out to Oliver Berman again. who is in the top 10 of the driver standings for his F1 debut. And we now look at the rest of the driver standings. Hulkenberg in 11th with 1 point, Lance Stroll in 12th with 1 point, Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Ocon, Tsunoda, Sargent, Bottas and Dadsey are all on 0 points. And basically, that's it for me. That is it for me in terms of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix review. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below on your thoughts on Saudi Arabia Grand Prix down below in the comments, and I'll see you all for Australia. I'll see you all for Australia, where we'll probably see another Max Verstappen domination win, to be honest with you. So if you want competition in F1, unfortunately, I don't think he's done that this season. I think Max Verstappen is really on a mad one. He's on a mad one, Max Verstappen. As Max Verstappen will now be going to Australia, looking to make it a record-breaking 10 wins in the war. Which is a Red Bull record, to try and beat Sebastian Vettel's record and make it 3 wins, winning the first 3 races of the season for Max Verstappen. That's what he'll be up to do when he goes to Australia. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below. Take care, stay safe, and